Hi, welcome to Gimme Lemons. If you're new here, I'm Annie, and today we'll be making a beef and noodle salad bowl, a cross between a Thai steak salad and a Vietnamese beef noodle dish called bun bo sao. It's a perfect summer meal that leaves you feeling light yet extremely satisfied since it's jam-packed with flavor and complex play on textures. The beef I have here today is a ribeye steak, but you can use pretty much any cut of beef you prefer. The important thing for the salad is that you get a relatively thin cut that can be sliced into bite-sized strips and enjoyed together with the other components. First, let's season the steak with a good amount of salt and let it rest at room temperature. This gives the salt a chance to pull some moisture out of the steak. Next, we'll cook the noodles. You want these thin Vietnamese vermicelli noodles made out of rice. You might see these Chinese vermicelli noodles made with mung beans that cook more like glass noodles, but I prefer the rice noodles. If you're curious, try them both and let me know which one you prefer. To cook the noodles, we'll bring a medium pot of water to a boil with a good pinch of salt. Drop in about 4 ounces of noodles and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes until they're softened, but still have a nice bounce and chewiness to them. Drain the noodles and give them a good rinse with cold water until they're cool. Next, we'll make the pickles. These are totally optional, but I think they yield great flavor returns for a little investment. Slice half a red onion, relatively thick, julienne some carrots, also some kohlrabi, daikon, or Korean radish. In a small pot, add the brining liquid and bring it up to a boil. I have one I'm reusing from my last batch, but to make it new, combine equal parts vinegar, sugar, and water. By the way, you can find all the detailed recipes as always in the description below. We'll set those aside while we prepare the vinaigrette. In a blender or a food processor, combine fish sauce, rice vinegar, sugar, lime juice, a roughly chopped shallot, tons of smashed garlic, and cilantro stems. We'll set aside the leaves for the salad. Blend everything together until well combined. You don't need to make it super smooth because the little bits will add contrast to the dish. By the way, you can also blend in some chili if you'd like. I'm leaving it out so I can share this with my kids. Next, we'll make the fried shallots, which are optional, but in my book are not really optional because they're small but mighty in flavor. You'll see that they add a deep, roasted, almost smoky note to the salad. If you don't feel like making these on your own, you can usually find them in Asian markets in the Thai food section. Fill a small pot or a pan about an inch deep with frying oil. Bring it up to about 330 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, here's a good trick. You'll know the oil's hot enough when the bubbles form around your chopsticks like this. Since we have only a shallow pan here, carefully drop in the sliced shallots little at a time to prevent overflowing. Give them a frequent stir to ensure even browning, and when they're golden brown, drain them onto paper towels. We'll finish them off with a touch of salt. And now we'll prepare the salad. I like a mix of romaine and arugula for crunch and spiciness, but you can use whatever lettuce floats your boat. We'll also make an herb mix of the cilantro leaves that we had earlier and a good amount of mint. The mint is key in giving the salad a summery twist, so don't skip it. Every time you bite into a piece of mint along with the steak, you'll be met with a very happy surprise. Slice up a radish for texture and color, some cucumbers for a refreshing crunch, some roughly chopped peanuts or cashews if you'd like, and voila! We're ready to prepare the salad bowl. Plate it up however you'd like, maybe the salad on the bottom, then the noodles, the cucumbers, and the pickles. Look how vibrant they make the salad look. Then we have some sprouts and the beautiful herbs. Now that's prepared, we're finally ready to cook the steak. Remember how we salted the steak earlier? Look how much liquid has surfaced. Blot that off well with a paper towel. Season the steak on either side with coarse ground pepper. And remember the oil we used to fry the shallots? Well, that's extra flavor we have available to us, so we can rub the steaks with a bit of that oil. Heat up a cast iron or other heavy-bottomed pan on high. Make sure the pan is almost smoking. A good test is to sprinkle a bit of water to see if it evaporates immediately. Add a tiny bit more oil to the pan, and in with the steak. With such a thin piece of steak, we need to compromise a bit on the super brown crust or the internal cook. I'm shooting for somewhere in between so we can achieve a medium to medium rare cook with still a good amount of browning on the outside. We're going to cook it for only about 2 minutes on the first side, flip it and cook it for another minute to a minute and a half until it bounces back, yet is still tender when you touch it. It's done, and now we can let it rest for about 5 minutes. We want to slice the steak relatively thin so it's easier to eat in the salad. I'm quite happy with the cook on this. Now add this to the salad bowl. Finish it off with some fried shallots, the nuts, some radishes, and finally the amazingly flavorful dressing that ties it all together. And there you have it, a beautiful, irresistible looking beef and noodle salad fit for a warm summer day. I really hope you give this recipe a try, and if you do, let me know how you like it in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and take care, and see you in the next video.